I am Nate, and welcome back to Planet Water. What up? Hey everyone, I am Nate, and welcome back to Planet Water. In today's video, we are going to be doing another 8-minute facts all about Star Wars because in a couple of days, Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order is going to be coming out. I'm super excited, so let's get on to the facts in 3, 2, 1. Yoda and the Muppets Miss Piggy are voiced by the same person. Yoda is Sanskrit word for warrior. James Earl Jones recorded all of his Darth Vader lines in 2.5 hours, earning him $7,500 only. A New Hope was made for $11 million. Compared to Star Wars The Force Awakens that cost around $300 million. Which do you think is the better movie? The original Star Wars script was more than 200 pages long and took Lucas 8 months to write. 20th Century Fox executives complained about Chewbacca being naked and wanted him to wear pants. The Millennium Falcon's design came to Lucas when he was eating a burger. The director of Scarface, Brian De Palma, helped to co-write the opening text crawl. Burger King sold Star Wars collectible cups for 59 cents in 1977. You can make a lot of money on them now, if you have one. Yoda was originally going to be called Buffy, but in later drafts, Yoda had a full name, Minch Yoda. James Bond star Daniel Craig had a cameo as a stormtrooper who, when affected by the Force, releases Rey. The 2015 Star Wars reboot is one of the 3 movies to ever top the $2 billion mark at the box office. The other 2 were Avatar and Titanic. And Joker or something. No, another movie. Deadpool, none other one. Rogue One is the only movie to date where the name Skywalker is never spoken. The Last Jedi is the longest Star Wars movie at 152 minutes. Darth Vader doesn't say, "Luke, I am your father," but "No, I am your father." The Jabba Palace sequence involved 42 extras, 18 principal cast members, 10 puppeteers, 9 mime artists, and 90 crew members. This scene took an entire month to film. Harrison Ford broke his ankle on the set of The Force Awakens, and J.J. Abrams broke his back trying to save him. George Lucas left the Directors Guild and paid a fine so that he could start Episode 4 without a traditional credit sequence. It took 4 men to become Darth Vader. Dave Prowse was a 6'5" bodybuilder that wore the suit on screen. Bob Anderson was his stunt double for action scenes. James Earl Jones was the voice of Vader, and Sebastian Shaw was his face when the helmet is removed in Return of the Jedi. When the Jedi are flying through the stars in Revenge of the Sith, their feet are actually sticking out of the ship's front window. This was to ensure that their knees were kept out of the shot. The explosions on the surface of Crait in The Last Jedi is actually made from shredded paper that had been dyed red. Laura Dern, aka Admiral Holdo, couldn't help herself from making pew pew sounds with her mouth in The Last Jedi. There's gifs, you can see her doing it, it's great. When filming Jabba the Hutt's sail ship scene in Arizona, a Dune buggy festival was happening at the same time on the set with 35,000 fans attending. C-3PO can speak over 9 million different languages. When Anakin is fighting the Tusken Raiders in Attack of the Clones, you can hear the voice of Qui-Gon's ghost in the background telling him to not let Fury take over him. The Millennium Falcon is the fastest ship in the galaxy and can travel 25,000 light years per day. Most of the stormtroopers are left-handed because the blaster they used was modeled off a Sterling L2A3 SMG, which had the magazine located on the left-hand side. The force-grabbing scenes with Luke was achieved by Mark Hamill throwing his lightsaber across the set, and then they reversed it in post-production to make it look like he was grabbing it. Only 4 actors returned to their roles from the original trilogy. Frank Oz as Yoda, Anthony Daniels as C-3PO, Ian McDiarmid as Palpatine, and Kenny Baker as R2-D2. Jack Purvis is the only actor to appear in all 3 originals as different characters. He was Tebow in The Return of the Jedi, Chief Jawa in A New Hope, and Chief Ugnaught in The Empire Strikes Back. IG-88, not Instagram 88, a bounty hunter droid, was actually made from recycled film props. Their head is made from a drink dispenser from the cantina scene. Just get new stuff. Anyway, Boba Fett was first made an appearance in the San Anselmo County Fair Parade in California back in September 24th, 1978. Dwayne Dunham, the assistant film editor, wore the suit along with another dressed as Darth Vader and led the parade. The only reason why it was shared with the townspeople is that they shared a zip code with 52 Park Way, the original headquarters of Lucasfilms. Harrison Ford's casting as Han Solo was practically an accident. He worked with Lucas on the previous film American Graffiti and came into the Star Wars auditions to feed lines to the auditioning actors. Lucas liked Ford's delivery so much that he went on to cast him for the role instead. A young Kurt Russell auditioned for the part of Han Solo. R2-D2's voice was made using loops on a synthesizer matched with beeps and bops modeled after baby coos performed by the film's sound designer Ben Burtt. Darth Vader's infamous breathing was recorded by putting a microphone inside the regulator on a scuba tank. Oh yeah, makes sense. During the filming of the Endor scene for Return of the Jedi in the Redwood Forest of California, bodyguards with high-vis vests had to accompany actor Peter Mayhew, aka Chewbacca, for fear he'd be mistaken for a bear and shot by hunters. A 10-year-old Han Solo scene almost made it into the final cut of Revenge of the Sith. Described as being a slob, this scene was sketched up and even had a line in the original script. The lettering used throughout the Star Wars films is called the Aurebesh, and it first appears in Return of the Jedi. Legendary makeup supervisor Stuart Freeborn was hired to create the original costume for Chewbacca. Lucas was impressed with his previous work on the apes in the Dawn of Man sequence in the 2001 A Space Odyssey. Lucas originally wanted Freeborn's costume for Chewbacca to be a combination of a monkey, a dog, and a cat. According to Freeborn, the biggest problem during production was that the costume was with Mayhew's eyes. The actor's body heat in the mask caused his face to detach from the costume's eyes and made them look separate from the mask. That's terrifying. Lucas initially funded The Empire Strikes Back out of his own pocket. He did this because of difficulties working with the studio, and the move would give Lucas complete creative control, while still having a major movie studio distribute the movie for its theatrical release. Unfortunately for Lucas, the film went too far over budget, so he had to go to 20th Century Fox for help, which resulted in him giving up certain rights on the movie. Irvin Kershner initially said no to directing The Empire Strikes Back. In the original version of The Empire Strikes Back, the scene in which Darth Vader converses with the Emperor used to look a lot different. Ian McDiarmid played the character in the remastered version, with the original, while the original Emperor was an old woman with chimpanzee eyes and the voice of Clive Reveal. ABY and BBY are two very important abbreviations in the Star Wars universe, with BBY standing for Before the Battle of Yavin, and of course ABY standing for After the Battle of Yavin. Before his appearance in A New Hope, Solo entered the Imperial Academy at Carradine, serving with distinction. He was kicked out when he stopped an Imperial officer from beating a Wookiee for resisting capture. The Wookiee's name? Chewbacca. And thus one of the greatest movie alliances was born. The Jawa language is just sped up language known as Zulu, which is one of the official languages of South Africa. In one draft, Obi-Wan and Yoda were going to leave the Force and return to their physical bodies to help Luke fight against Darth Vader and the Emperor. Princess Leia never actually meets Obi-Wan Kenobi, she only sees him from afar while on the Death Star. Han Solo's Hoth Parka is actually brown, not blue. The lighting in the Echo Base and Hoth scenes may be the reason so many fans recall the color as actually being blue. Skellig Michael, which is the real island location that stands for Ahch-To, is covered in puffins. Rather than trying to digitally remove every puffin from shots, which would have taken a very long time, director Rian Johnson decided to use them as inspiration for their own indigenous species in the film, which became porgs. 8:18. Okay, I went a little bit over. That's fine. Why was Ahch-To? Skellig Michael. That is it for this video. What did you think? Did you know all of them? This is Star Wars Part 2. If you haven't checked out the original one, make sure you go and check out the first 8-minute fact video we did on Star Wars. If you enjoyed it, please make sure you like, as well as subscribe and hit the bell icon just down here so you're notified when we upload more content just like this one. I'm Nate, this is Minor One Up, and we'll see you all next time. Bye. If you enjoyed this video, you might want to check out these, as well as head on over to the channel to subscribe and follow us on Instagram. Just go now. Go do it. Net, please. I'd really like it too.